All right, this is One Last Midnight. Welcome back to another episode of Astroneer. There's one question that I get all the time, and that is, how do I keep playing this game? So I decided to make a video telling you guys how I go beyond the end game. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so you've gotten to the point where you have finished the story. I'll call it a story. You figured out what the gateways are, what they do, all of that. The mystery has been solved. You've gotten to the very end of the game. And so what do you do beyond this point? Let's say you've made every single item in the game, or you've built a base on multiple planets, and you have enough research bytes to choke a cow, a space cow. So where do you go from here? Astroneer for me is very similar to Minecraft in the sense that it's a creative game. It's a sandbox. You can do whatever you want to do. So typically I tend to continue to keep building. I like to build in strange places. I like to build a cave base, or I like to build, inside of a mountain base, or on a mountain, or in the deepest point that I can find, in a canyon or something. I try to find different areas in which I can build highly stylistic bases. But let's say you're not into base building. Another thing you could do is you could run some challenges. When Astroneer went 1.0, one of the first challenges that I ran was the Iron Man challenge. And the Iron Man challenge can be run solo, or it can be run in teams. You can partner up with somebody in a 1v1 challenge, or you can, do a 2v2 challenge. The rules are very simple. You land on the planet and you run away from the shelter. You take no oxygen with you at all. You must survive completely off of oxygen filters, and try to build up your base just surviving off of oxygen filters. If you die, and you're going to die, immediately when you respawn at the shelter, leave the shelter, go back to your new location, and continue to keep building. Eventually you're going to get to the point where you can build an oxygenator, and from there it's going to get a lot easier. But I tell you, it's an extreme challenge to run. Another challenge you can try is the no tether challenge. Absolutely no tethers whatsoever. Try to make your base with using no tethers. It's a lot harder than it seems. It's very similar to the Iron Man challenge. You're going to be running off of the oxygen filters, but when you get into the cave system and you have no lighting from the tethers, it gets even more challenging. Another challenge that you could try to run is the no printed power challenge. So you can't build any power whatsoever. The only power that you can use is what you can find on the planet. You have to find the debris that has that power to try to build your base. This is an extremely hard challenge in the very beginning of the game. It's hard to get anything up and running. You can't even build yourself a small generator. So you have to solely run off of power you can find. Really tough challenge. I highly recommend that you do it. I put up a game called the Aatrox Trade War Challenge, which is you have to build a certain amount of resources solely off of scrap. And you have to do it on Aatrox, which is difficult, beyond difficult, even to begin with. And this is a 2v2 challenge. There's a lot of different things that you can do. I have a stacking challenge to see if you can stack how high, boxes of items. Many of my subscribers have suggested challenges. So if you're on my Discord channel, you can find the link in the description below. You can get to the Astroneer Challenge section of the Discord channel, and it will give you suggestions of some of these challenges that we've run. There is a Dodgeball Extreme Challenge that was put out by Ronald. It's a really fun little game. It's cool to try to run it independently to see how fast you can do, but then also you can play it in multiplayer and try to get some of your buddies to play it with you and see who wins. The No Tether Challenge was submitted by Ender Tenders. The No Printed Challenge was submitted by Gina. There are several others that I didn't list that are in that Astroneer Discord challenge section. There's also a shared save folder that I have in the description below. And that'll get you to Gina and Brainless put out alternate starts. So back in the day when you could start on any planet that you wanted to, It was called Alternate Start. They've kind of replicated that concept. And so there is a save for each planet and each moon where you simulate starting on that planet. That is a really difficult challenge to do. You have a whole different mindset of, you know, how do I get a specific resource? So you're not, let's say you land on Glacio. Well, you're not going to find any malachite there. So you're not going to have solar power. How do you deal with that type of challenge? Or you can start on Atrox, where it's very difficult to dig into the caves unless you already have a drill. Go and check out not only the Astroneer Challenge section, but check out the save shared folders. There are many subscribers who have posted save files that you could load up and that you can enjoy and just continue to keep playing the game while you wait for new stuff to come out. Other things that have kept me interested in the game are building racetracks, and there's several racetracks that I've built. I have a save file in the save share folder that has 3 racetracks on Silva, 1 in the mountains, 1 in the forest, and 1 in the caves. I then also have a DeSolo racetrack, and I'm going to continue the racetrack series until we have a racetrack on every single planet and or moon. I'm currently working on, with a group of people, the Glacio games. And so that's taking the recreational sphere that was released in the summer update and finding creative ways to use it. You know, there's been people that have launched themselves into space or built a ramp into space or try to see how large of an explosion they can make. Astroneer is a sandbox game that you can do pretty much anything with. It's a little bit challenging with their current sculpting tools to really sculpt cleanly. But if you're a decent sculptor, a 3D kind of modeler, you like to push and pull vertices on some sort of polygon, then Astroneer will keep you busy and you can make some pretty creative things. You know, some sort of building and or some sort of words or letters or whatever. Really, for me, Astroneer is just about creativity. There isn't a huge storyline. There isn't a very large crafting system right now. You know, Astroneer should give you about 20 hours of solid gameplay before you finish the end story. And then you're left with a game of, I don't really know what to do. But it's so beautifully crafted. The planets are all procedural. So when you start a new game, it's going to be completely different. In the sense of your landing spot will be different. The planets will be slightly different. I tend to start over again, maybe every 3 months. I do keep one save that has everything unlocked and it has my abundance of research bytes. So with that, when they release new updates, I'll be able to unlock that content quicker. And so whatever I can think up and build or create some sort of game and have fun with, that's what keeps me going in Astroneer. That's how I've wound up putting over 1,000 hours into Astroneer. I just really enjoy the simplicity of the game, the beauty of the game. There's really not too much pressure in the game except for running out of oxygen, which is easy to manage, and maybe some hazardous plants. But otherwise, it is just roam around and have a good time. You know, if you haven't and you're looking for something to do, build yourself the portable oxygenator and walk the entire planet. That's always fun to do. As you're walking the planet, make sure you keep some beacons on you and mark the locations that you think are the most beautiful or what would be really cool as a base, and give yourself something creative to do. Again, I equate Astroneer with Minecraft. It's a very similar experience for me personally as Minecraft was. Even in the beginning of the game, and I bought into Minecraft a very, very long time ago when it just first started. And it had the same growing pains. It was this creative game that really didn't have a story to it, and it didn't have a huge crafting inventory in it. So what were you able to do? The biggest thing you were able to do is figure out something to do with the blocks. Build. Essentially, just build. I feel that over time, Astroneer will rival Minecraft. It will have an enormous crafting system in it. It will have finer detail modeling tools in it. It will have a rich, deep storyline in it. System Era has dedicated themselves to making a fantastic game. They are going to introduce modding sometime in the future. And so when the modding community gets involved, the game probably will really explode. They've also dedicated to doing continuous updates to the game. So, you know, it's something that you look forward to every couple months, seeing a patch that has some new content, and it gives you a whole new variety of play. Anyways, that's how I stay interested in Astroneer, and that's how I play beyond the endgame. All right, so that was my video of playing beyond the endgame. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. We have a great community here. And if you want to follow me on any of my social media, you can find the links in the description below. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.